We just had our discussion on sexual and reproductive health and rights, so I do think it's adequately being represented. However, I'd want to see it in more of the mainstream days and not as a side event, because with side events, you know how the turn up of people are, and it's not really, might be a bit contradictory, but it's not really considered as that important. And I think that with health, health should be a priority in all fields. So I think we should shift it into a more mainstream event.
I think it's important because young people are dealing with these things already. Young people have sex. Young people are getting their periods. These are things that are lived experiences and that we have so many questions about.
I think that there are obstacles in terms of increasing wins on sexual and reproductive health and rights within the UN system, in large part because certain governments are blocking advances.
How can we should use voice not just heard but also listen to? I think the overall theme that dives into this accountability, young people standing up and then consequently asking what has been done. And same with the side event we just hosted now. What are we going to do a week, a month, 6 months down the line, a year down the line to ensure that what was said in this room is actually taken up?
É essencial, né? Quando a gente fala dessa vulnerabilidade, de injustiças climáticas, a gente está falando de sistemas que não possibilitam com que comunidades vulneráveis, marginalizadas, tenham acesso a recursos, né? Então, o SUS, Sistema Universal de Saúde, também tem totalmente a ver com isso, né? Como que a gente aciona sistemas públicos, né, para ajudar essas mulheres, essas pessoas que menstruam em situações de desastres ambientais. A gente viu isso agora, eu sou do Rio Grande do Sul, Porto Alegre, a gente viu a situação dos abrigos, mulheres e crianças tendo que ir para abrigos diferentes por questões mesmo de assédio, de insegurança, por serem mulheres, né, e crianças. Então tem tudo a ver a gente criar estruturas tanto no nível de governo estatal, prefeitura e governo federal, né, através do SUS, para a gente poder realmente proteger essas comunidades e aumentar a resiliência delas nesse tipo de situação.
There's a very well-funded, focused, right-wing, fundamentalist series of movements that's linking with governments and pressuring conservative governments, actually pressuring all governments, to take much more conservative positions. And I think that happens in large part around the terror of women's sexuality, the sexuality of young people. And I think that there's a mobilized moral panic, often for political purposes, and I think governments are stuck. I think governments that ought to be allies on these issues find that they're fighting to maintain advances from 25, 30 years ago, and it's very hard to advance, in large part because of anti-gender and anti-human rights movements.
I would say the more people you can get talking about these issues and the more decision makers you can get talking about these issues, the better.